What's good, boys? It's your boy KETNEl, and we're back at it again with another video. And this one is, honestly, it's a video that I didn't even see myself. I didn't even plan on making, and it's also a video that I hope that I never got to make. And it's about something that I just came across. It's very new to me. In regards to our, I butchered his name. But yeah, in regards to Oliver Tree, this gentleman, he was one of the artists. I wouldn't say I was his biggest. Oliver Tree, this gentleman, he was one of the artists. I wouldn't say I was his biggest artist of all time and stuff of that sort, but he did have like two songs that were very close to my heart in essence, which was Life Goes On and Alien Boy. Like, I have nostalgic memories of me being in the car and playing these songs, and oftentimes I wasn't always okay, but it was one of those songs that when it came on, it got me in a better mood and made me hopeful and everything. So that's why, like, it took me by surprise, and it kind of hurts, seeing somebody like him pass. And I didn't even know he was a comedian and stuff of that sort, because I started actually looking into him to learn a little bit more about him before I actually made this video. That's kind of how I feel about it, to be honest with you. When you see legends like that pass, people that had an impact on you and shit, and then the music suddenly doesn't sound the same. If anything, it feels like it's got more substance and stuff. Maybe now certain lyrics are gonna start making sense or being more relatable and stuff. And that's also another thing that me personally I'm trying to work on, is showing appreciation to certain people, or trying to show the same type of appreciation that I would have shown if they were gone versus if they were here. You know what I'm saying? That's also like a thing in me that I've been trying to work on. And Mac Miller kind of said something similar in regards to him as well, on one of his albums that he released, and some people were like, it's made, blah 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 blah, and then he passed, and then boom, all of a sudden it's like one of his greatest albums and everything. But again, it's the same album. It's just, he was here versus he was not. Why not give the nigga his flowers while he's alive type shit, why wait till he passed to be like, I changed my mind, this was actually great, like, nah, I'm not really into that. And him, again, while looking into him, I found out a couple things. Like, for example, he had a couple of Genius World Records where one of them was he built the biggest kick scooter ever, and that shit looks kind of insane, and which I'll show you guys in the video as well. So that was that. He had that for himself, and I heard that he also had the intent of using his estate to help other artists break through, because he cares about people's creativity and being able to express themselves, which I believe is great, because at the essence of it, I've always asked myself, behind all the noise and all that shit, if money wasn't a thing, if this isn't that, we would be looking to like the Renaissance period, if I'm not, at least I believe that's what it was back then, when back in the days we went through this period of time where we were just working on science, art and everything and all that. At least that's how I remembered it, from when I learned it. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me in the comments. I'm not trying to pass around false information in that essence. But yeah, I was like, if you took away all of today's noise and shit, and you left it for what was, I feel like people would spend most of their times developing themselves in terms of areas of artistic ways, and think about it, like music, although music is changing all of the time, but music's been a part of us for God knows, since we started. I think about it, me being a black nigga back in the days with slavery, you know what I'm saying? Like, music helped us get through, you know what I'm saying? And music helps everybody get through certain things. So it's powerful, and it's art. It's a way we express ourselves, and it's also a way that helps us connect with one another. So and for him to be like, oh, okay, if I were to pass, what I've spent my life building up to, I'm going to use that to help, liberate others, to help them be able to express themselves in the ways that they want to, and hopefully be able to make a living out of it. And I feel like that's the one thing that we should literally try to do. But a lot of us, kind of give up in the essence, and just settle for a 9-to-5 job, which it isn't that bad in the essence, because although you're selling, it's still hard. You're doing it to provide for your family. You're doing this, you're doing that. So I'm not trying to down talk on anybody, because I work a 9-to-5 right now too, but I'm trying to break out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make my main income be what I'm passionate about, which is the music that I make, learning new things, like philosophical things, and then trying to be better, and then trying to teach that to you guys as well, which is the main purpose of this channel, etc. So that's that in its essence. So back to Oliver. And I learned a little bit more about him. He was more of a well-rounded type of person, in terms of being a producer, and a lot of his songs he wrote it himself, and from beginning to scratch, I've heard. And a lot of people don't know that, and that's also another thing that I want you guys, if you're a music artist and you're listening to this, and as a fellow music artist, I'll make another video that's a little bit more in depth. What I realize is that, like, over time, it goes back to the words. It's before you sing, it's not so much about the voice. The voice gave a lot of people an advantage, and in the music industry, the people that had naturally beautiful voices and stuff of that sort could make lyrics that weren't so beautiful sound so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But when you got both at it, you got beautiful poetry, beautiful writing skills and shit, and then you got somebody with a beautiful voice, and you mix those two, you get greatness, shit of that sort. But now, as you can see with technology, with AI and all that, I feel like it's leveling the playing field. Now I feel like you don't need the perfect voice, because you could have an AI singing for you and stuff of that sort. You just need to be able to write, and I won't even say you need to be able to write perfectly, because there are songs that I've listened to on repeat. The lyrics are simple as fuck, but it's just that the melody and how it resonates with me. And again, despite the lyrics are simple lyrics could hold a million words in them. I love you is pretty simple, and we crave that word from certain people so much, and not just the word, the saying itself, the phrase itself, but for it to be said with intent and with meaning and shit. So although they're simple, but the way that it's used and etc. could mean a million things, could turn somebody's hearts into a garden of roses type shit. That's kind of, I try to like visualize it. So and that's kind of what I've seen is like learning me in the aspect of making music is like learning new ways to say I love you type shit, and if I'm talking a little bit too fast, or a little bit too this, a little bit too that, I don't know, bro. It's kind of like the fucking weed, kind of messing with my brain and how it kind of function and without a script, etc. So that's that for the essence of it. And I don't know, I fucking say that so much for the essence of this, that, whatever. And then also another thing that I wanted to touch on the video is like that I noticed is like when somebody passes, like I noticed with Kobe's incident as well, rest in peace, brother. It's not really headline. It just shows you like, hey, Kobe was in the helicopter with his daughter, and I think maybe there was one other person that they put on the headlines passed. However, they didn't really put the names of the other people, the pilot. Maybe they did, but not like on the headlines and stuff of that sort. Like you gotta search for it, and I don't know, maybe I might be wrong into this, but me personally, I believe it's not as respectful, because I try to put myself in the shoes of the family members and of the other people that passed, that most people won't know that they were there, that they passed in that same instant unless they look into it. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally died, like just like this incident for me, maybe based on the article that I came across, it wasn't stated in there, but I had to go look. I was curious. I wonder who else passed when I was looking at this picture of the helicopter, which looks tragic. I was like, who passed? And then I came across information that was like, oh, Gasper, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Alexander, Charles Lucas, and another Lucas, Lucas Brito. The other Lucas, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not gonna butcher his name, but like all those people were people that, you know, at the scene were passing. Also, this is also a developing story, so take the things that I'm telling you with a grain of salt. Yeah. So yeah, I believe like those people should have, you know, get their flowers just as much, you know. And although I believe, yes, people get to a certain level where they achieve certain things in life and they contribute like to people in different ways and stuff of that sort. But I don't think a life should be prioritized over another in that essence. If KETNEl's world were to exist, I feel like everybody should, if they're about to pass and the headline is served as a shout out to let the world know of a legend that passed, I believe the other people in the helicopter were legends too. Maybe not to in popularity, maybe not to the world in that essence, but you know, they had their own lives, their own family, people that they did great things for, people that will forever miss them. So I believe they're legends as well. And again, back to like me thinking about the butterfly effect, and like, if you're gonna say, oh my god, I'm not gonna put this person on the headline because they didn't accomplish as much, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do that, well, think about the butterfly effect. Like, I believe we're all one, and whatever decisions another person makes, although you might not know this person, it will affect you in some shape or form, because that person will make a decision that will affect another person, that will then affect another person, and then it just ripples through, and it ends up affecting everybody little by little. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody gets in touch and contact with one person or another. Imagine you fuck one person up, he gets in contact with another person and passes down his bad ideologies, or the bad aftertaste you left in this nigga's mouth or this woman's mouth, and then it gets passed on to you know, and then it goes around. So if like, coming from the standpoint that, you know, we're all one in the essence of it, and that what we do impact each other, and ultimately, you know, we hold the same value, although we may be able to specialize in different fields better than others at different time, but we all need each other. You know, an engineer can't really live that well without a doctor, just like a doctor might have a hard time being able to do its thing without an engineer, and this and that. We all need each other, you know. We all need each other. If the world was full of engineers, it wouldn't be as great as the world we have now, where everybody's something else. So as much as an engineer might be like, oh my god, I'm the only shit that matters here, in reality it's not. So we all need each other, and if we all needed each other to make it where we made it, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Oliver, the guy that was on that, maybe those people that were on the helicopter listened to his songs a lot too. You know what I'm saying? There were fans, people that were impacted and stuff like that. So maybe I ranted too much about this, but what I'm saying is, I feel like everybody should kind of get the same type of love in that essence of it. But yeah, I'm sorry. Rest in peace to everybody that passed in that incident. And again, people pass every single day, so learn to cherish your life. Learn to cherish your life. Every single day that you wake up, it's gonna be somebody's last day on this planet, and it's also gonna be somebody's first day. So, and you never know when it will be your day. So if I'm gonna leave with anything, just keep that in mind. You know, be grateful for every day, and don't wait for somebody to pass to give them their flowers. Show appreciation and gratitude always. Love y'all.